the stream. So it looks like everything is fine, but obviously, that needs to be tested. Oh, I need to turn off my other monitor. All right. Definitely sounds a little low. Let me turn that up. I think, is that the best we can do? I need to stop doing that. Yeah, for some reason it's not. Let me check. Is that good? I keep seeing that it's not as loud. Okay, it's getting a little louder now. I think I just have to project my voice and like not mutter a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this. Let me pop out chat so that I can actually see when people comment or something. But yeah, we're just gonna be building Avantgarda. Probably a short stream today. Probably just gonna finish stream. I don't think I'm gonna do any testing after we do the build. So first of all, we do have to start with the ride deck. So obviously ride deck 2 and 3 are like completely accounted for. Where is Avantgarda? His name is Blue Deathster. Okay, this is Blitz. Okay. Here they are. Okay, so that turned it off. How do I... Man, I always get fucked over when I try to do this. Why am I so bad at this? Let's see. 2 ride deck on. Is it Control Alt? Oh my god. All right, whatever. Currently, I'm not actually playing 4 Persona rides. I'm playing one of the Gradius Gradale. So I don't know if I want to keep that in, because I found that I think we're taking Hadbal's zone out. So I'm going to put all 3 in there for now. Obviously, our grade 2 is going to be this guy, if it wants to. Why am I so bad at using card federator? Okay, I somehow figured it out. Okay. Oh my god. I thought I figured it out. Okay. Okay. Somehow I got it in the ride deck, but whatever. Wait, is that how we do it? Wait. Wait, I somehow did it. How did I do that? Whatever. Okay, we're ignoring the ride deck for now then, because it does not want to be cooperative. So we're calling this. For my grade 1, I still think the grade 1 is pretty bad. So my idea is instead of actually playing the grade 1, we play Camera-chan and the grade 1 black, which is somewhere. Let me go ahead and just go by. See, why did it put fucking Camera-chan in the right deck? Like, that doesn't belong there. I have very much liked the idea of putting Camera-chan as our main, as our grade 1 target, simply because it is a card that lets you Soul Blast. And I think that's pretty cool. Okay. Do I have to just do my whole ride deck first? Let me try that. So we're going to put Hathaway, or Sora period. Then we're going to put, where is that idiot? This guy. And then we're going to put Blue Deathster, who is a little bit further down. There he is. And then for our grade 3, we're going to put Avantgarda, which came out. This was set 7, right? Yeah, he's right here. All right. Ride deck off. Let's put in the other copies. I figured out the ride deck. I'm cool. I did it. We put the 1 copy of Camera-chan. So this is our current build. Yeah. So I think that this is how we're going to be playing Avantgarda for the future. It also means, due to the fact that the grade 1, this guy is so solid. Like, literally a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Like, it banishes itself from the drop zone. To put a strategy from hand would have been enough, but you can literally put from drop. That means that we can tone down the number of strategies that we actually need to play. And I'm thinking we tone it down to just 4 strategies, because somehow that works. So what I'm thinking of is, this is a 3-of for now. This card is also solid. So I'm thinking we play this at 4, because this card's really good in the early game. Pretty decent in the early game. Ideally, this card, if everything was cool in the world, I would have put Stable in, because that's a really funny interaction. But due to the fact that it doesn't work, and also I'm not going to do it, but also I don't think you ever play Stable. He's cool and all, but it's just fucking minus. Like, this deck cannot afford to take minuses like every single turn. But a lot of some things that I've been seeing people doing is they play the, what's his face, the grade 2 guy that gets 5k. Personally, I don't like him, but he is a 20k base effectively, because you're going to be hitting both those conditions every single turn. And he's recurable. So theoretically, he's a decent pick, but I think that we're going to keep him in the back burner for now. And if we'll only put him in if we have space. So I'm thinking for my strategy orders, we play 1 Dusting, 2 of the Resilience, because I'm really liking the 2 Resilience ratio, because you want to put one in 1 turn, and then you want to be able to use the other one during the Deathwind's turn. And then we play a copy of Dusting. Where is Dusting? Set 9 right here. Or not Dusting, Deathwinds. We already have Dusting. So I think this is pretty good for our ratios. Because we're playing Camera-chan, that means that so long as we have one of these in the drop, we can just Soul Blast out whatever the strategy we put into Soul that turn, and then literally just bind this from the drop and, put it back into the order zone, which is very solid. So I don't think we really need to commit any more to the strategies than this. I've been playing with 2 Richter. I think 2 Richter is fine, especially now that it's searchable with this. I don't think we need more than that. For grade 1s, I think our grade 1 lineup is solid. Ooh, we need Hathaway. I'm thinking about cutting Hathaway down to 3, because he is still a solid enough card, but I don't think it's as necessary. Where is he? Blue Deathster. This is set 6? Yeah, that's set 6. We are looking for, this is set 13. I don't think that's set 6. Yeah, because this is set 8. 9. Okay, it was a set 10 card. And I especially don't think we need as many boosters now, just because we have Camera Chan, who's a 5k booster, which is not a lot, but it's better than nothing. The other thing is, do we play Aula D'Argentes? I think she's a solid enough card. But I almost want to play maybe just two, because like the good part of Aula D'Argente is that she for one, she soul blasts, but in all the time I've been playing Avantgarda, I've found that it is very awkward to soul blast in the mid game because like you don't have anything. But I think that now that we can put things back into the order zone from the drop zone, that she might be a little bit better, because that means she's always live. I don't know about Sabine. I'm thinking maybe 3-2 on the ratio for the Sabines. Or I could even just go 3-3, but that uses up all my slots, which is something I don't really care for. The other thing I could do is like go back to the set order, the base, which I think is cool. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Aula D'Argente and Sabine. So I'm going to go back to names because, yeah, here she is. I think we play her at 3. I wish she were revivable, but she is a Battleroid. The only problem is she does not have Blue Deathster in her name. And you know who does have Blue Deathster in her name? Fucking Sabine. But you know what Sabine isn't? She's in a fucking Battleroid. She's a human. It's just so funny. Why do they do this to us? That's so fucked up. But yeah. Maybe we just play like 1-2 Sabine. I think 2 Sabine is probably good. Yeah. Cause like this card is solid enough. Like here's my line of thought. Like most of the time Sabine and Aula D'Argente are going to be 20k anyway. The only instances in which the power threshold actually changes is when you go into your Richter, because they get an extra 5k, whereas this guy Rek does not get an extra 5k. He caps at 20, whereas Aula D'Argente and Sabine cap at 25. But unlike those two, he is actually recurable, thanks to a card that we pretty much always want to have on board. Yeah, because this is always just going to be on board. And it gets, yeah, the turn retire this unit. But the difference is these cards have utility outside of being attackers, whereas he does not. I mean, you can definitely call him in the early game and it'd be fine, but I don't think that's worth it. I technically have one more slot. And what do I want to use it on? Maybe the 4th Aula D'Argente. I could put in like twin cast just because we go through our deck so much. But I don't know. Honestly, I could see a world where we play the Pride Cyclers. Because before I was playing Hathaway. In another build, I was playing Hathaway. But I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, normally the Regulus piece I go for is Gradius. And I've noticed that Gradius is really good, because sometimes you want a main phase Persona Ride. Oh, wait, maybe we can still play it. Because now we don't... Because before, the problem with playing Gradius Gradale was that if you played it, you needed a habitable zone in order to actually play the second order. But we don't have that problem anymore. So I think we do play the Gradius Gradale. The real question is, do we cut back on a Persona Ride for it? I'm thinking no, because it's very necessary, but at the same time it's searchable, which is like kind of annoying. But like outside of that, the only other Regulus piece I could actually play is like Twin Cast, or what's it called? I guess I could play this, but it doesn't really do much for my deck, does it? Like, what do I really want to search? I mean, I do have a lot of good pieces that are kind of want to be searched. So it's either this or Gordale. Because, like, the reason I love Gradale in Avantgarda is so much is because you can draw into it and just, like, Persona Ride on the spot. But maybe we go for... Because, like, this searches out this, which I need. It also searches out this. But I can't use its second skill, but it basically gets me a free column. It searches me out this and this, which have on-place effects. So maybe I try a Regalis piece since I'm not so reliant. Although Persona Ride is pretty important, and sometimes your opponents will just be like, okay, I'll take this. You can get 3 drive checks, and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't have a Persona Ride. But honestly, I think I'm willing to take that risk. Ooh, I could also play one of the new ones, but I don't think either of them are good for my deck, or for this deck. Non-Sentinel Normies with different names and some of their grades being less than or equal to. Actually, this is... I was thinking about completely side tangent. I'm thinking I might play this in Magnolia Elder because it's really funny. It doesn't have to be different grades, right? So if I'm on grade 4, I can just choose 2 grade 2s and call them, which I think is pretty solid. It's basically a bonus body at that point. I don't know if it's better than 4-bit all, since 4-bit all actually like gets you is like a +3. Technically a +2 because it gets you 1 on board, and the one that you get on board can get you another thing, and you also get the grade 4. So it's kind of hard to like judge there. But I think this card is solid, but just not for Avantgarda. The other one is a Blitz Order, right? It's a grade 2, I think. Has mermaids on it. I don't think this card is very good, unfortunately. But I guess we can do some test hands with that. Anyways, let's go ahead and finish up the deck. Let's go back to Brontgate, and we'll probably do some test hands. PG. Not that PG. Let me just go order of release. I'm looking for the robot. That's my favorite PG in Brontgate. Everything else is like a freaky alien dragon. When did this robot come out? It came out at the start of DZ, so it should be around here somewhere. There he is. 3 copies of him, and then our trigger lineup should be pretty easy. Let's see. What do we want to do? Obviously, this auto win button. Love to see it. 1, 2, 3. We're in alphabetical. No. Best heal, and then just regular crits. We do not need soul and crits for this deck. Oh, I forgot. I actually have more slots. I always forget that it counts up to 54 because the ride deck is already there. So I do have a lot more slots, actually. Is that all the triggers? Let me see. No, I still need another critical trigger. So I have 4 more slots. I almost want to put in the Persona Ticket Shield guy, but like maybe I can afford a bit more. Maybe I'll try out the grade 2 and then like bump this guy up to 3. Bump up Ala Jardente or Sabine maybe. What card are we using this guy? Okay, so we have 4 more slots. I'm so used to counting up to 30 whenever I do this on deck log. Like I could play this guy. He's okay. Now that we have this, I don't think I need to play Habitable Zone, so I could theoretically just play this guy. Maybe I just bump this. Sabine seems a lot less viable considering that I can just get it for free. Unironically, now that I'm thinking about it, like playing this guy as your grade 1 is also not a bad idea. Now that I'm thinking about it. But let's see, what else do we want to play? We have 2 more slots. Why don't I throw in 2 of that one blue Deathster? It seems like it is solid enough. And unironically, we have enough space. I could also just play another Richter to guarantee that I see it. But like I said, he's searchable now. So I think we will put this as the last 2 slots. All right, let me go and save this. Neo Avant. And let's do some test hands to see how consistent it actually is. Shuffle. Okay, this hand is solid. We don't need this. We don't need this. Don't need this. Technically, we probably should keep that PG. Okay, it didn't matter. Okay, we'll take it first because we always need to take it first playing Avantgarda. Ooh, that's actually really solid. So we pitch this. Ride. Sure. And then that allows us to search out for Camera Chan, who is... Does it put it in set order? Yeah, it just puts it in the order zone, which is crazy. Okay, yeah, it should be easy. And then we shuffle. And then we pass. And we take some damage. We go ride phase. Oh, I guess I also could have put in like a what's his name? Hathaway. Handed a Hathaway. The pitch target here is this? No. I think we just pitch the trigger, right? Oh, now I think this card's a little bit worse when we're playing like this because I can't get back the grade 1. So that's kind of unfortunate. He's not a Battle Roid, is he? No, he's an alien. Ugh. Yuck. But what we would do is I think we pitch the trigger. No, we actually only need one of these. So we'd do that. Ride. And then what we can even do here is call this EB3. Check top 5, right? Yeah. This is actually kind of annoying. You don't even get anything if you whiff. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Look at 5 cards. And we hit. Because we add this to our hand. And shuffle. And then what we can actually do is we can use, we can use this skill to Soul Blast this out and call him as a 5k. And now we have a 10k, 13k against our opponent's grade 1 Vanguard. So we can go battle phase and go bam. And then this goes back to order zone. We go end phase and we go take a damage. And then we go, I don't know, guard. And then we go ride phase. Draw a card. Oh, I was supposed to play this last turn. Do I need this right now? Not really. So discard that. Ride up. Oops, that's supposed to be on top of the deck. But what we're going to do is we're going to search out this to hand. We're going to go ahead and put that. I'm also going to shuffle. And we're going to go and use Avantgarda's skill. Put this to soul. Gain 5k. Draw a card. And then we can call this. Skill. Soul Blast that out. Actually, what we probably do is we put it here. Use its skill. Oops. That's not at all what I meant to do. This can go back on top of the deck because we are going to search for dusting, I believe, here. Yeah, add dusting to our hand. And then what we're going to do is we can actually go ahead and set both of these up. I already played an order for this turn. We're going to put this in the order zone by binding this. How do I bind from drop? Okay, add this to my hands, and then my bind zone is where? Binds. God, I actually have to... Oh, there it is. Hold shift. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is this goes here. Bound face up, puts the Death Winds into the soul, and then I can use this skill to Soul Blast this guy out, and then literally just call him back for free. Very solid, actually. Now, I don't really have that many cards in hand, so this is kind of cringe, but what we can do is battle phase. Oh, no wonder! I forgot to fucking drive check last turn. Lamau. Oh, well. Let me try that again. I literally just passed on nothing, huh? Let's just do another one, because I fucked that up. Do we keep Persona Rides in this deck? I feel like we don't need to anymore. Bot deck, 2. Pretty solid. Okay, we go ride phase, draw for turn, pitch, ride. That there, search for camera chan, put it into the order zone, and shuffle. Yeah. Let's see, what would we put here? Obviously we can't do that, so we'd go main, end phase, take a damage. That's actually very unfortunate. Ride phase, stand and draw. Ooh, I don't like having to pitch those, so I'll just pitch these and ride up. Then go ahead and call. EB3. Check top 5. And we add this. It's a set order, right? One grade 3 card. Oh yeah, strategy card or grade 3. That meets both the requirements. And then we're going to go ahead and use Camera Chan. Soul Blasting out grade 1. And we have a nice 13k column here. Just go ahead and go main, battle, swing. Power crit here. This is now 23. And phase. Take a damage. Also not ideal. And then we go ride phase, draw. Ooh, that's very solid, actually. Discard to ride. Search the deck for resilience. Resilience to hand. Play resilience. Yeah. We'll go ahead and shuffle. Call. Skill. Draw 1. Okay. Skill to soul. Draw 1. Call. This is supposed to be over here. Skill. Soul Blast 1. Search out. Do I even have anything else? No, I don't. I have to get it from drop. Add this to hand. And then what I can even do here is I can Soul Blast this out. Yeah, that seems okay to me. In order to get this guy back. So now we have next to 0 soul. Oh, we have the only soul that we need. So we go ahead and go, this gets plus 5k. And this gets plus 2k when it boosts. Counter charge. Drive check 1. Drive check 2. Okay, nothing there. Assuming it doesn't hit, we go ahead and just add Persona Ride to our hand and shuffle. This gets plus 5. And so we swing 15, 18, end phase. We'd have to guard some attacks here. Let's say we take a damage. We go stand. And we probably have to guard another one. And draw. Let's go ahead and go ride phase. Stand, draw. Ride. Draw. That's not what I need right now. Let's go and go main phase. So what we would do here is we play the death, and then we go drop. We use this guy, bind him face up. This gets set into our order zone. Go and call this EB3. Oh, what do you know? It was the next card. I saw that. Add the Richter. Very solid. This is gone, by the way. And then what we can do here is we use the skill of this. This goes to soul. Draw another card. And then this card gets... sure, I'll just bind this one face up instead. In order to ride. And then we'll use its skill to put the Death Winds to soul. Draw another card. And now we call Dente. We were actually supposed to do this earlier because, let's see, as the card. How does that work exactly? I assume it means both of them. But basically what we're supposed to do is, do I have another one in circulation? We call this, Soul Blast this out, and then, if your strategy was, I'm pretty sure that doesn't do anything because I don't have another one. But yeah, I wouldn't actually have to do that. We're just calling it to call it. We probably wouldn't use any soul. And then we go battle phase. This is at +5. We go ahead and go swing van. Skill. Give 5k to the front row. This unit gets 5k. This unit gets 5k. Drive check 1. Front trigger. Drive check 2. Critical trigger. All effects to van. At the end of that battle, counterblast 1. Discard 1. Restand. Swing again. Front row gets 5k. Add 5,000 power to each of these units. Drive check 1. At the end of that battle, choose 2 cards from hand. Discard. From the bind zone. Superior Ride. So he got... We had 2 triggers, right? So we gave him a total of 20k. 1 from the front and 1 from the other one. What else? He does lose the extra 5k that Avantgarda gets from what's it called? The Death Winds. As far as I can tell, he loses the 5k there. But he still does have that skill. So we get another 5k to the front row units, and then another 5k to each of these Aladardentes. And then he gets another 10k because of his own skill. Because when he gets placed, he gets another 10k. And then we drive check there, another critical trigger. Doesn't matter where we put it. And now we have 68, 78. So that was a fairly solid turn of events. It did rely on my opponent not guarding and the fact that I, Spear got Richter. Oh, the other thing I needed. Yeah. I'm gonna rework this deck. I like how it is going. I'm gonna take these guys out because 1, I didn't see them, and 2, 95% of the time I'd rather have one of these. I don't care if it's recurable. I wanted to get the grade 1 milestone, because now that we have access to actually soul blasting out the Richter, that means that as long as we have 1, we can continuously recycle just that 1. Yeah. Where is Milestone? He was a set 13 card, I think. Is it by set? It is by set. So set 13. This is DZ. Here's a cat. There he is. Milestone. Asagi Milestone is pretty good. What else would I change? Would I change anything else? I think the ratios work pretty well. I do definitely like the 4 strategies. I think that finally we can get away with that. And then obviously Milestone is also searchable by Regulus Piece. The only thing that has to be placed from hand is this girl, which is interesting. Maisie Distance. No Shime Occasion. What's with all these code names, man? Canada Hath. I always thought this card's name was Hathaway, like the Gundam reference, but I guess, legal reasons. His name is actually Halfway, which is okay. Halfway to what? Okay, I think that this is... Yeah, I like this list. 4 of the new cards, just because they're really solid. And then the Camera-chan, unironically opening this, or literally anything. You could even call this and just, throw him in the front row or something, because you don't care if he gets discarded. But, I mean, if you open this, you're always just going to be discarding it anyway. So, literally, Camera-chan plus any grade 1, which in this instance is just this guy, is pretty solid. Yeah, I think this list is very cool. Basically, what I did for this list is everything I learned from playing the base list, everything I learned from playing a normal list, and the new cards, which I think this list works pretty well. The only change that I think you could make is if you want to play this guy in your right deck. I think that is a solid choice. You would just lose out on Camera Chan and whatever this idiot is, Black. But yeah, I think this list is solid. I say after doing 2 test hands. Let's do like 1 more test hand. And then I might... How long have we been streaming for? Like 35 minutes? Yeah, it hasn't been that long. I mean, I could definitely test this against other people, but like... Testing against people on Arena is kind of... Okay, this hand is interesting. I don't actually need Milestone right now. Milestone is much more of a late game card. Okay. Thankfully, this is like not a complete loss. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go first. Let's go ahead and draw. Ooh. Go ahead and ride. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna put from hand. That means I'm just gonna draw another card. Not ideal, but you know, it's not the end of the world. Main battle end. Let's take a damage. Stand and draw. I was like, what am I discarding here? I'm like, okay, the answer is very obvious. Ride. Call. Honestly, like, having a way to actually use your energy on turn 2 feels really good. Persona Ride is technically more important, but it is also less searchable. Oh, what am I thinking? You can literally get either of the Avantgardas. Full mount. So we go Soul Blast, Camera Chan, Call, Hathaway, draw. I don't have energy, so I don't need to do anything. Okay, we go battle phase. Swing for 13. Cringe number, I know. Swing for 20. Another cringe number, I know. Counter charge. Drive check. Pretty good. End phase. We guard 1 attack. This is supposed to go back here, and we'll take 1. Okay, right phase. Stand and draw. I need to stop fucking drawing these cards. Thankfully, I can now discard them very safely. I don't have to worry about keeping them in my hand. We're going to go ahead and play this to our hand. And we're going to go and play it. Order for turn. Then we are going to put it to Soul. Let's get 5k. Draw a card. And now we're going to go ahead and call this. And we use her skill. Let's get Soul Blasted. And unfortunately, our only target is the Death Winds that we discarded. We do get a shuffle today. And then we call this. Use its skill. EV3. Look at top 5. Whiff. But we can use her skill in order to Soul Blast this out and call this guy so that I have another column. Yeah, it's literally get a 5k attacker or get a 10k attacker most of the time. But yeah, that was all main phase. Let's go and go battle phase. Swing. 5k here. Let's say they actually let this one hit. So we're going to go drive check 1. Drive check 2. The attack hit. So I'm going to counterblast 1. Discard one of my set orders. That's not what that does. It just restands. And then we're going to swing again for 18. 1. A front trigger. Very solid. We're going to go 28 and then 33. 38 actually because our Vanguard attacks again. All right. We go our next turn. Guard. This is dead. Let's take another attack. And say guard another one. And then we go to our phase. Stand and draw. Go ahead and ride. Draw a card. It's just that easy. Should probably bind the grain one more. Obviously, don't call dog with orders. No, I think no. Because you can. The grade was is insane because you can set a order from drop. So literally, I keep them in my hand to be discard fodder, and then I can just put them from drop into the order zone. I'm telling this rare is actually like so much better than the double rare. Choose a strategy order from your hand or drop. I'm gonna put that card back in. I'm gonna play an order for turn. And then what I can do is I can even literally just go this, bind it, okay, dusting back in order zone. But theoretically, you don't want to keep doing that because if you draw into a Sabine, you can add it. You can just like add it back from the drop zone first, so it's more pitch fodder. Because you are discarding a lot of cards. The reason why the grade 1 is also just so good is because of the fact that now you are allowed to actually discard your set orders. Before, you actually had to hold on to them or pray that you had Sabine or Alejardente. But now you can just freely discard them because you can set them from drop, which is just insane. And on the die base, I thought about it, but literally the last discussion I had with Market Watch Danny gave me the idea that he said some people are playing Camera Chan. I'm like, wow, that's actually a very good idea. I think that works in Avantgarda much better. I would play die base in here, and technically I still can, but the fact that we don't need soul anymore to search out our things, I don't think it's necessary. I think Camera Chan and the grade 1 black is perfectly fine. I mean, you could totally still play the grade 1 if you want to go for like 16k columns, but personally I just think this is better. Where was I? Oh, right. This goes to soul. Draw a card. Oops, I accidentally wrote it. Doesn't matter because we are going to bind this card to ride Richter. And then Richter is going to use his skill to put this to soul to draw another card, gain 5k. Now the issue here is I don't have another attacker here, but what I can do is I can either make this an 18k column by committing the halfway from my hand, but currently at the moment I don't need a dig for anything. Yes, I am Market Watch Danny. That is correct. Thank you for finally owning your image. So what we can do instead is we can Soul Blast here. We get back our grade 1. He's not as strong attacker, but because we have Death Winds for 4 turns, for 3 attacks basically, guaranteed 3 attacks, we can literally just keep spamming him. Or he just gets another power. We just lose out on an extra 15k. But it's free. We didn't commit any cards from our hand. And we just have a free column here as long as this thing lives, which is insane to think about. Like, this card, I don't think this card is as good as the rare, but I think this card is, like, very solid. I think they should give the rare to every single Brontgate deck that needs it. Like, Rotovisor needs a rare like that. Like, just set an arena. Anyways, that's all main phase. Battle phase, we swing unboosted for 28. Not even 28 because front row gets 5k. Alejardente gets another 5k. And then we drive check. 1, 2. Wow, I'm really bad at this game. Anyways, we go skill. Turn plus 1. I can now discard this because I don't need it. I think it doesn't matter. I have 2 of them anyway. Restand. Wait, I don't even need to discard 2 yet. Lamau. Discard that. Hand. And then we go swing for 38. Front row gets 5k. This gets another 5k. Drive track 1. Elementario. Okay, so I guess I'm just not dying next turn. Now I have to discard 2. So I can just discard 2 of the grade 1s. Restand. And then re-ride. Unfortunately, I'm bad and I didn't get any triggers. But he still gets another 10k. And I still have the Death Winds effect. So I go my last attack. Counter charge here. Front row gets another 5k. This gets another 2k because it's boosting. And then this gets another 5k. The last check. Another blank. Wow. Great. I guess it's PG fodder. But now I have this column, which is 43, which is a respectable number. Not like the greatest Avantgarde can put out. But we also have this one, which is 58. Um, yeah. Yeah, this is very solid. Let me actually do a test hand where I go second. Because apparently going second is like the death nail for this deck, which I don't think is entirely true, but I see where people are coming. Wow, this hand is absolute ass. I don't need any of these cards. I'll keep the what's it called? Wow, this hand instantly improved. So we go ride phase, Stanford. It wouldn't be a Carbonite deck profile without that. I just keep drawing. I keep drawing cards I don't need. I don't have anything here, but I will search for this. I cannot call Camberchan because I need to keep that that Sora period in the soul. But what I can do is actually, if you go second, you can just straight up call this thing. EB3, check top 5. Holy shit! I am so glad that was not my. That's not going to be my top deck. We can go that, and then what we can do is just go main phase, battle phase. We can go and swing van, drive check. Ah! And then what we do is take an attack. That would actually be a really good defensive trigger there. Then we go stand and draw, pitch the. See, now I don't want to pitch it because I don't have the grade 1 yet. Whatever. I guess I have to do it. It's just, do I get rid of a Persona Ride here? But we can do is we can Soul Blast this out. Call the Camera-chan. Let's move this here, that, like that. And that's pretty much our turn. I mean, this still hits at least. And then this will swing. Check. Critical trigger, sure. And then we go end phase. Guard attack. Probably gonna have to take like 2 damage here because it's the opponent's first grade 3 turn. Right, stand and draw. Maybe we do discard the Persona. Oh my god, this is like the worst fucking hand ever. What are we searching here? We are definitely searching out the other resilience. Shuffle. This is an order zone. This goes to soul. We draw a card. Can I stop drawing Persona Rides? Oh my fucking god. Call. Soul Blast this out. I guess we just add the Death Winds. Yeah. Oh my god, look at that top deck. Unironically, now that I'm playing without that one grade 1, I feel like he might be carrying this entire strategy on its back. Call this from Soul. But we have a on-hit, non-hit effect in play. Just go ahead and swing. 1. Dark check 2. Oh, thank fuck. Should they let me hit? Let me actually throw a dice. Odds will be it hits. Evens, it doesn't hit. It was an odd, so it hits. I think that's what I said. So we're going to go ahead and use his skill. Counterblast the Sabine. Discard this. Restand. And swing again. Drive check. This would be at 50 because it's at 20. Gets another 5. Or this will be at 30, so I guess we give it here. This goes up to 30. Yeah, because it got a front and then it got another 5k. Actually, it's another 10k because it was at 30 when we checked that OT. Does the opponent die from this? Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, we go next turn. We're definitely living here. If we PG, Unfortunately, I think what I need to do here is I actually need to keep the what's it called? The Deathwind. No! Okay, and then we go our turn. Stand draw. Persona Ride. Draw. Okay, I actually didn't need to keep it. Call skill. Add back a resilience and play it. Then we go ahead and bind to set. Actually, this gets set off of the grade 1 from the drop, and then we play the Death from hand. And then what we can even do is just add this to our hand with EB3. There's no point in calling Argentente because I put only one of them in there. So this gets another 5k. And then, well, I have to actually put something in soul. I think unfortunately this is a Deathwind's turn. Did I already draw off that? No, I drew off Persona Ride. And I think I drew off, I think I already drew off of it. So then we just go regular. Go swing. Okay, to front. Draft check 1. Draft check 2. Wow. And then since we Persona Ride, Counterblast 1, discard. Although probably I should discard this, considering this is a guard value. Restand. And attack again. 5k. 10k here. 10k here. Draft check 1. All effects there. And swing 50, 48. Yeah. Yeah, Avantgarda feels very solid now. I don't know if it's meta. I definitely think it goes from a D tier deck to a B tier deck. All on the back of this one grade 1, which is crazy to think about. Like, this is what I was thinking. Like, literally both the cards fix the issues that I had with the deck. Like, when I was dissecting it, what were my two things? You need a way to set an order more than once per turn, and you also need a way to actually Soul Blast things out. This build, like, fixes both of those. And I mean, like, most of the time, you end up with, like, 6 cards in Soul, and most of the time in these playthroughs, I had around 1 sometimes. I literally only had the Sora period, which is how it should be. But these cards are very solid. And hopefully today's testing proves that. And once set 10 comes out, I will be playing Avantgarda again. And I'll probably feel a little bit less bad about it. I mean, I'm probably still going to break on all the non-shield, but at least I'll have good feeling cards. But with that said, it's probably where we're going to end stream today, a little bit early. I'm surprised I was able to talk about Avantgarda for more than, like, 20 minutes. But, you know, deck seems solid. The one change I guess we could make is more Richter, but, like, I don't want to play more non-shield. This is just, like, an unfortunate happenstance, which happens. But, yeah, that's going to be it. I will see you next time I stream, which is, I don't know, whenever I feel